And we've talked amongst ourselves, but I'd like for
Yes.
the girls
Yes.
to say what kind of takeaway message should we get from today? What skills could we use? What could we work on to make our interactions with the people that we work with a little bit better?
Okay, I like what you said earlier, Angelica, because what my speech teacher does, instead of saying, "Oh, put your phone away" or whatever, the beginning of the semester, she introduced that in class, focus more in class. Like if you have to take a call, at least walk outside. In class, please turn your phone off. And what she says, like in class, is like her kumbaya world. Everybody gets along. It's peaceful. Nobody's judgmental. We have fun. We could laugh. We could joke and stuff like that. Like she's like really cool. She's amazing. So, like I think we shouldn't like be so much of friends to us, but we want to be able to trust you guys more, because what happens, in the past, it's kind of hard for us to trust people because people in and out our lives. So be more trustful and
we want to try to
helpful.
understand us.
Yeah.
Like, try to understand where we're coming from and how we feel.
I have a question about that, though. I'm sorry.
But what can we do to help build that trust bond? What do you see as important?
Ask questions.
So honest communication.
Yes, asking questions. Don't be like, oh,
What do you like, or what do you like to do?
Or do this and do that. Don't state the fact. Just be like, okay, what do you like to do? Like,
How can we be more helpful and of service to you guys?
And sharing their stories. I like that.
they feel comfortable. Like they feel comfortable.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
I like you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's one thing. There's one thing that we can't help, like the case managers and the guardians. They change, because we know how social workers get paid, and we know, especially here in the case, I don't know, Miami must be the same way. So it is very sad that you had to have so many people in your life saying, hey, we're next year for your birthday, we're gonna go for next year for your birthday. That person's not
they're
there.
not here no more.
So that's something that it's hard to fix. How can we make that transition more like smoother, or make it like less traumatic? Because I myself would hate to have somebody come and talk to me every week and then all of a sudden that person's gone.
I mean, to me, at least let us know. Because when we call and ask, they're like, oh, I'm not your caseworker anymore.
Or
you have
the
to call
person don't work
somebody
here
else.
no more.
Yeah.
At least let us know in advance so we could prepare.
Who your caseworker is.
And then their number's not the same because that was their
They're
work
gone,
phone.
yeah.
So
We're
there's
left
no way to
in the
contact
dry.
them.
If you thought about one person in your life who really was able to develop that trust, respectful, caring relationship, could you identify one thing about them that was when you knew this person was going to be in your life? What was the thing that they brought that really got your attention?
Well, for me, I would say like my godmother, she works at my agency. So before she became my godmother, like she was just cool, like cool to hang out with. I could just talk to her about anything, and she's not like judgmental. She'll laugh, she'll joke, and she also like share her stories with me too, that she has done in the past. So yeah, that she was cool.
Sounds like it was
Honesty,
reciprocal,
trust.
right?
Yeah, it's like was like in sync with each other. So it was like, she's cool. I love her.
Well, for me, I had a case manager for like only 3 months. And within those 3 months, I seen her like almost twice a week. But it was like every time we got together, it was really relaxed. I felt like bonded to her. She told me like many stories from her past. And it was like I could go to her and tell her anything. Like she was like a therapist to me. Like it was amazing how we connected, and how like I could get on her level, she can get on my level, and we just understood each other. I just love that about her.
Yes.
But why? Is there any one thing you can point to that she did differently from other people?
Yes, she came to my home. She wanted to know why I felt certain ways, why I didn't want to come home certain nights. Like I could call her and tell her, I'm not going home tonight. And there's really nothing you could do about it. And then she'll come to the house, she'll tell the lady, like, why are you doing this, that, and the other to her? And, you know, some foster parents don't even care. So she would just let me leave. She'll be like, okay, I already have my check. My money already came on the 5th, so it doesn't matter if you're gone on the 10th, as long as you're there on the 5th when, you know, I need you. So it was good that she came and she reached out to me and the foster parent I had. So I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Russell, what did you do on those nights when you didn't go home?
I would go to my godmother's house, trusted friends, which I didn't have many because I had just came down from Boston. So I tried to like make connections with like other friends where I would I had a friend, she had a good foster parent and I always wanted to go to her, but they didn't want to place me to her. So sometimes I would go over there, spend a couple of nights sometimes, and then just come back and get new clothes and leave again. It's kind of like that.
Rose, you've been mighty quiet.
I'm just listening.
Rose, is there a person that you remember in your life that really sticks out in your mind?
That would do what?
That really sticks out in your mind as a strong support for you?
Yeah. I mean, sorry. Yes. I'm so sorry. Yes, I remember when I just turned 17. I was thinking about coming to Casa Valentina, and Emma was so
Persistent.
yeah. She was really good. We did the interview. We was talking, and ever since then, I called her my big sister. You know, we got the same last name, so I was like, that's my big sister, and I feel like I could talk to her about anything. And she's not like the type of person that be like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. She'll be like, oh, she'll give you like examples, like, oh, like the right way, the right things to do. So I feel really comfortable with her. I could talk to her about anything.
I wanted to say Emma as well because she's
guys.
like, she's.
Did you tell her to say that?
It's all the chocolate. It's trail mix, guys. Trail mix, the vanilla plugins. Everybody knew that secret.
She's like so like happy and jittery, like 7 o'clock in the morning. She's like always like happy.
Yeah, like it's 7 in the morning. Oh my God, guys, get up! It's like, oh my God, it's breakfast,
like,
breakfast,
Emma, I'm
breakfast.
sweet. Oh my
It's 7 in the morning, Emma.
Like she also uplifts me sometimes. Like I called her yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I was telling her like how good and well I'm doing in school, and she was like, I'm so happy for you. At first I was like, yeah, I got an A, like no big deal. But when she was like, I'm happy, so I'm so happy for you, I'm proud of you, you're doing good, like it makes me feel more better about myself that
She helped you push
I know I could do
forward.
this. Yeah,
She does.
because I was like, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah,
I just
trust me.
don't want
I
to. She's
had
like, no, you
to
can't give up. Keep doing it. If you need help, I'll be there for you. Like, she's a good person.
She-
I'm glad she's in my life.
I did not pay them, guys.
It's true though. Like nobody else could do this job.
Emma, I have a question for you. If you have a child come to you and they run through a scenario, you know, they tell you about something they did, it sounds like maybe you kind of run through scenarios. Like, what maybe could you have done differently, or how did that decision affect the outcome?
Right. Like you said, you don't ever ask what's wrong with you. It's what happened to you and why did you make that decision, and really answering the questions about so what or what if, and it's an exploration process with them, you know, and that's really teaching a life skill, right? You kind of learn. I know I observed a lot what my mom did, through parenting, I learned skills on how to navigate through things, how to handle situations. And again, foster care is not a good parent. They don't get that. They don't. They can't model that type of behavior. So, changing every situation into a teachable moment and really using it as an opportunity to explore and really dissect everything and being supportive about it, not being judgmental. And really kind of thinking of alternatives. How could you have done this differently? What would have happened if you did it this way? How about have you considered this? You really have to kind of show pragmatism, model the behavior that you want them to do, like being cheery at 7 in the morning.
When we were talking about, before we started, we were talking about the challenges that our organizations face. And I was going to say that, and I'm glad you guys are here so you can help me. Our biggest challenge in the Keys, at any given moment, there are 25 teenage kids that needs a home at any given moment in the Keys. And what happens is, for whatever reason, they cannot remain with their biological families. So they have to be separated from the family and they need a foster home. They have to go to Miami. So besides being taken from the biological family, they're taken from school, from their friends, for everything they know, and we know how different the mainland is from the Keys. That is scary. We don't want to send our kids to Miami. We want to send them to Casa Valentina when we need to. I'm grateful that we have those services up there, but we need homes down here in the Keys. And we all agreed that the system is not a good parent, but there are outstanding foster parents out there. There are bad ones. Yeah. There are outstanding foster parents down there. And
but those are the kids that we see. They're usually staying with those good foster homes.
And there are outstanding kids that just need a place. Imagine one of those girls living with you. That's the kids that are out there needing a place, like they are successful young women, but they had the support from somebody, so we need that in the Keys. So I'm begging you to tell all your friends to come find me if you want to adopt a child or be a foster parent. We are in great need of foster parents, especially for teenagers. And I myself, I'm very young, but I adopted a 16-year-old boy, and it was the toughest thing I've ever done in my whole life, and I will do it all over again. They're just kids. So please tell all your friends. My name is Angelica Garvey with Wesley House.
Good for you. Tom, did you?
I had a question. I took a lot of psychology courses in college, but that was a long, long time ago, and there's obviously been a lot of advances. I was fascinated by the studies in brain development and brain chemistry, and I guess you guys have seen that too. I'm just wondering, does that scare you, that knowledge, or does that empower you to try to realize where you need to work, in what directions?
That will empower me to help me go to push forward, to not get scared of what I think the future might hold for me. So I'll just keep moving forward. I'm not gonna let this break me down. I'm not gonna have this in my mind saying, oh, you can't do it, you can't do it. You gotta keep going. Even if you fall a couple of times, you gotta get up, you gotta keep moving. That's what life's about.
That reminds me, I think it was Tuesday or Monday. I had midterms last week. So I'm I really want to go to sleep. Because I know if I go, but then I was thinking, I know if I go to sleep, I'm not going to want to do it the next day. So in my mind, I kept telling myself, 2 more semesters, I'm done. Let me get it over with and sleep the weekend and do it all over again next week. So I put an all-nighter, got all my work done, got all my assignments done, and I passed all my midterms, and now I could kind of sleep a little until next week. But I know it's all worth it in the end.
Well, for me, I think if I still had the mindset that I had when I was 16 or 17, I would be scared looking at these slides, because I'm what about if I don't meet what people think my brain should be like, or if I haven't developed everything that I should have by the time I'm 20, by the time I'm considered an adult. So, but now I'm looking at it and I'm saying, well, this is me. This is how I've progressed, and I see where I've came from. So it's not so bad that I'm not properly developed, but for me, it's something. So I got something out of this.
I think it's necessary to highlight that scientifically that the brain hasn't really fully developed until the age of 25. So even myself, just recently, I just got to maturity. Blew my world.
You
How
know,
did you
don't
develop
be,
that 7 a.m. happiness? That's what I
Get to bed on time. It helps.
don't let that research be scary to you, any of us, because what we do know, and there's more and more research coming out, they just haven't done the follow-up studies enough to really get it published as much. It's reversible. If we have good, consistent, reparative kind of interactions, that even with children who have been through a lot of trauma, and we can see some changes in the physical structure of their brain, it does start to reverse. It may not be exactly the same way as, say, a child that didn't have that exposure to trauma, but that is reversible with what we do if we're consistent and safe and start doing successful things like you all are doing.
And again, you just see it as a strength too.
Yeah.
You know, you were surviving. You know, when we suffer trauma, we were a survival. Our areas of our brain developed instead of the others. So that means we're more resilient. We're fighters. We're survivors. So.
I'd like to ask a question of Rosalind. You said when we first met you that you wanted to become a pilot. What made you look at that career choice? As for I'm a pilot myself, so and it's a very long road just to get to the private pilot. So I want to know what made you come to that career choice, and how far have you gone looking towards that right now?
The first time I realized I wanted to be a pilot was when I was commuting from Florida. No, I was commuting from Boston to Florida because my cousin, or whatever you want to call her, she didn't want me anymore, so I had to come back down here because under the laws, Florida owned me, so I was a Florida child, so I had to come back down. And then I was in the sky, and I was like, I've been in the sky a lot, and I like it. I really love being there. It's like, I'm peaceful up there. It's like, nobody can touch me. It's like, it's amazing. And I was like, I think I can really do this. Like, I think I could really have, you know, a connection with this. Like, what can I do to make this, like, my everyday life? And I looked more into it, and then I realized I'm kind of scared to go into it because I know it's not a profession where black African American women are like good at. So I'm kind of like standoffish because it's just not a profession where I know I could it's gonna be easy for me. But at the same time, it does push me because I'm like, I know this is what I want to do, but I'm still trying to figure out what career. But I know I'm going to be a pilot when I grow up.
So you don't know if you're going to head to, like, say, Embry-Riddle in Daytona, the Aeronautical University there, or you're going to head maybe to the military to try to go that route.
I was thinking about
probably a little bit easier, number one, financially, and number two, probably for an African American woman, would probably be easier in the military.
I was thinking about the military. I just don't want to be stuck in one profession because I feel like I'm very undecisive. So I might just, get my degree and whatever and become a pilot. And then I'm like, I don't think I want to do this for all my life. So.
Well, you said that you really enjoy being in the air.
Yeah.
And it's really important in your career that you have something that you enjoy to do.
Exactly.
You don't want to go to work every day and say, darn, I got to go to work every day.
That's what
I myself am kind of in that position, darn, I got to go to work every day. Now, piloting isn't my career, but what I do for my work allows me to do a lot of other things. So I put up with the darn I got to go to work every day because I can really do a lot of other things that
Like killing bugs.
Sarah is familiar with. Yeah, I spray pesticides. I'm an exterminator or whatever you want. But it's really, really important, and I like what you had to say that you really enjoy being in the air. Myself personally, I don't enjoy being in the air. It allows transportation for me to get from point A to point B in a whole lot quicker time than being on the road driving. So yeah, it's really interesting, and I wish you the best of luck. And if you need any advice or anybody to talk to or anything, you can get my number from Sarah. And if you wanted some help to walk through some things if you get going, it's awesome. It's awesome. All your lady stories are awesome, but I picked that one out in particular because I have
There's an affinity there. Okay.